Growing coffee for the future. The Nescafé Plan. The Nescafé Plan was launched in 2010 as part of our commitment to creating coffee for the future. We work with farmers, scientists, and other individuals to develop future-forward solutions and coffee production methods that mean we can grow the very best coffee without using GMOs or having a negative impact on the environment. The future of coffee farming. It all starts with the Nescafé Plan. Through our own research, we have identified 4 different environmentally conscious methods of plant propagation to grow our coffee plants. Seeds, cuttings and grafting, micropropagation, also known as microcuttings, and accelerated propagation. Seeds. This is a common method of coffee growing and is relatively simple and cheap. First, we take the seeds and plant them into seed beds or bags in the nurseries. Over the next 6 to 8 weeks, the seeds begin to grow before finally little shoots start to appear above the soil. The best plants are then transferred into plastic bags and carefully looked after to help them grow into healthy plants. We make sure they get the right amount of light and humidity to help them grow and be ready for planting in the field. Cuttings and grafting. The second type of coffee plant growing we use for the Nescafé Plan is creating plants from cuttings and grafting. They allow us to create lots of plants that are exactly the same without any genetic modification. First, cuttings. It all starts with a mother garden. Mother gardens are used to produce coffee stems called suckers, and from them, we cut small pieces to use as cuttings. The cuttings consist of 1 piece of stem and a pair of leaves, and we make sure we choose the very best on the plant. The cuttings are planted into a propagator box where they're looked after and given the right amount of light and humidity to encourage them to grow roots. The whole process can take several months. Finally, once the cuttings have grown roots, they are transferred to the nursery and then to the field. Grafting. We use grafting to combine the best parts of 2 different plants without the need for any genetic modification of the plants. At the right time, our plant technicians take a plant grown from seeds with a strong root system and combine or graft it with a scion from the coffee variety we want to grow. The area where the 2 plants are joined together is then covered and protected for about 2 months to prevent dehydration of the plant while they grow in the nursery. Sometime later, these grafted coffee plants are ready to be transferred to the field where they can produce a strong coffee crop. Micropropagation. The third propagation method is called micropropagation. Unlike the other processes we've seen so far, it all starts in a laboratory. The coffee plants start life in test tubes as samples taken from productive coffee plants. It takes 3 to 5 months for the plantlets to start to grow new shoots. Then, the microcuttings are treated with growth hormones to encourage root development and planted into peat bags. After 2 to 4 weeks, the shoots are ready to be transferred to the nursery where they can establish themselves before being transferred to the field. Accelerated propagation. Finally, the last and most productive of the methods used to grow coffee plants is a method we call accelerated propagation. Accelerated propagation lets us create millions of the best coffee plants quickly without the need for genetic modification. It all starts with the leaves of the coffee plant we want to reproduce. The selected leaves are cleaned and cut into pieces. These plant pieces are then left to grow on a solid medium in Petri dishes in the lab for 6 to 8 months. Coffee cells appear on the edges of the leaf pieces and are transferred into flasks where they are given all they need to help them grow and develop into new plant embryos. After 4 to 6 months, the embryos have developed into coffee plants and are ready to be planted into bags in the nursery. Finally, once the plants have become established, they are transferred to the field. Which method is used depends on several factors, including local environment, whether we're growing Robusta or Arabica plants, as well as the cost and special skills involved. High-quality coffee isn't just about growing great coffee beans. It's about developing coffee planting, growing, and harvesting techniques that make sure the future has coffee too. We are committed to making sure coffee farming continues to be a viable business for today and future generations, from seed to harvest.